I mentioned, why did I choose Chase? Well, I Googled for this presentation, what are the top banks in the USA? And you can see by size and location, Chase was the top, right? So I said, okay, well, what does Chase Bank say as the biggest bank in America about protecting ourselves from these kinds of attacks, phishing attacks? Well, first thing it says, double check those URLs, which is what I just discussed, right? And then it also says, at least for people who are at work, but you can even think of this if you're not working, right? Get a second opinion. If you think something looks suspicious, ask somebody within your organization or check up with someone who may have sent it to you. So for example, on this call is my partner and boss, Tanya. I probably get 3 to 4 questions from her every month. She forwards me an email. Can I open this email? What is this? Should I click this? And I think 99% of the time, the answer is always no, don't click that, right? But she's wanting to make sure, because these attacks are just increasingly common. We have a number of accounts. We've got a number of clients, and we have accounts with each of those clients. So we're constantly getting emailed with promotional offers and told that there was a change to an account. And we have sometimes 10 accounts for one platform. So we're constantly getting these things. So it's very easy for us to fall prey to, oh man, this look, we think it's legitimate. So we have to be very diligent about that. And that's just the nature of the beast as it is now. Chase also gives 6 other steps, and I just wanted to quickly run through them. 1, get extra security at sign-in, and Julie, I mentioned this, and I'll mention it again at the end. At 2-step verification or 2-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication. MFA2FA, that's what it's kind of referred to as. But effectively, that means, the easiest way is when you get the texted code to your phone that you also have to enter. That way, it verifies 2 different ways that it's you. Another case says to do is to set up account alerts. And that's always really good advice. I increasingly do that, particularly for any financial institution, whether it's my bank or banks, my 401k. I want you to tell me if any changes have been made. So I get notified on any purchase. I set a very low limit. I have no problem getting a text message that says, right when I swipe that card, hey, that institution just charged you this amount, right? And it's kind of nice. I kind of like it if I'm at a restaurant to know that what I paid is what got charged. But the other benefit there, right, is if somebody takes it from you, you at least get notified immediately. So you can say, wait a minute, I didn't just buy that. And you can at least start the process of protecting yourself if you have been hacked or taken advantage. Obviously, it's going to keep your contact information updated so they can get a hold of you should something bad happen. They also reference getting maybe identity monitoring services. Okay, sure. They obviously offer their own, or one that they make money off of. But okay, sure, that's a good one. I recommend going paperless, right? I guess the reason being the less mail you're getting, the less opportunity for someone to take your mail because that's physical stuff out there. I guess that makes sense, right? It also saves them money, right? So it's kind of dual use for them because they don't have to print that stuff and ship it. Okay, but it does make sense that maybe if we decrease our clutter, it's also less information that people can steal. But I want to make the big point here, which I already mentioned earlier. Use the latest browser. And by what they really mean that is keep it updated, which goes back to that general point that we've always been hearing and why it's so important to keep our software updated. They also gave an example. Again, this is the biggest bank in the country. And I just wanted to make a point here of people who impersonate you, that if you ever get a call from somebody from a bank or a financial institution, or anybody asking for information like your password or username, that's odd. You never, rarely should you ever be doing that. And so you can always keep in mind, even if you get a call from your credit card company or your bank, hey, we think there's been fraud on your account. That is a legitimate issue. I'm glad you reached out to me. But before I give you my personal information, if I don't believe that you are who you say you are, you can always hang up and then call them back, right? Pull out your card and call the number on your card to make sure. And that's something that you can do every single time if you ever think that you might be, that someone's trying to pull the wool over your head. So And even Chase says this themselves, right? Don't, you're not hurting our feelings by telling us, hey, I don't think you're really you. Let me call you back here to just, keep